Massive disclaimer. This is not a news video, at least not anymore. So what happened is I recorded this video and I was almost done finishing it, but I couldn't quite get it out in time. December was a crazy month for me, guys. So I didn't quite get it out in time when the reveal happened, but I don't care. I worked really hard on this video and I'm gonna upload it anyways. It's just instead of this being news, this is just gonna be my initial reaction. And you know what? If you don't want to watch it, that is completely fine. Okay, I get it. This isn't news. This isn't anything new. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. I have plenty of other videos, including a Roz analysis, which should be up by the time this video goes up. But yeah, I'm uploading it. If you don't like that, I don't know what to tell you because I'm doing it. So it is what it is. And whoever decides to watch any amount of this video, much appreciated. Thank you and enjoy. Okay, we have some really awesome news. We just got revealed set 71861, the Old Town, with 4,851 pieces, retailing for $300 US. Oh man, there is a lot to unpack with this set. Just going over the build for, I'll save the minifigures for later. Let's start with the build. There's a lot going on. I gotta say, it's very different from the other Ninjago modular buildings, like the city, gardens, all of them. It's a little bit different than those. Massive step over the workshops. Yeah, it seems to be kind of like this town enclosed in like a gate. There's open space in the middle. There's all these sections and components that you can take off and such. It looks really good. Again, I really would have to get this in hand to see more of the references and details. I mean, there's some crazy ones. I'll just mention a few that I've seen pictures of. We have the Green Ninja Prophecy. We have the motherboard from Prime Empire. Like, there's some crazy sticker references to past Ninjago stuff. It's crazy the amount of references and details they crammed into this set. And overall, I think it's just a really good build to look at and just display. I mean, it's huge. I'm pretty sure it's the third biggest Ninjago set. I don't know. 4,851 pieces, almost 5,000 pieces. That is a lot. The very Asian inspired buildings and like the trees, the rock work. I mean, it is just a beautiful build. It just looks like a beautiful display piece and also a beautiful play piece. It just looks really good. And now going into the minifigures, this is where things get absolutely insane. So taking a look at them, we have, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 minifigures in this set. That is insane. That is a lot of characters you're getting in one Lego set. Where do I even begin? You know what? We're going to start with the least appealing and go to the most appealing. So the least appealing minifigure would probably be this carpenter guy. Apparently I heard something that this carpenter guy, if you guys don't remember Day of the Departed, there's actually one of Yang's students that was named Chuck. It was like a little joke Cole had. He just called him Chuck. That guy. So apparently after he went through the rift in Day of the Departed with the other students, apparently that specific student, Chuck, became a carpenter after. Apparently that was part of the could be canon Way of the Departed story that Tommy and Drayson wrote. And honestly, that is a very interesting detail that they added. And yeah, it looks like a fine minifigure. I don't know if any of those parts are new. Probably not, but it looks pretty good. And then next we have an administration agent. And this is really cool that we're getting some representation of the administration in Lego form. It's really cool. Unfortunately, we don't have any new pieces on this character, but it's good to see that we're finally starting to get administration minifigures. But come on, we need an Agent Walker minifigure. Come on, Lego. Let's get an official J Agent Walker minifigure. It's really cool that we're starting to get more of that stuff, you know, more of the back-ended stuff of Dragons Rising. That's really cool. And then next, we have all of the ZX ninjas. So we have Zane and Lloyd with their full outfits. We have Jay with everything but his armor piece, and I think he has a swappable helmet. He actually has his glider he had in the pilots, which is really cool. And then we also got Kai and Cole in their ZX outfits, but they have their hair pieces. Unfortunately, Kai has his headband piece and not his regular hairpiece, which is a little disappointing, especially considering that last year in 2025, that piece returned in the Shire set. I'm pretty sure Merry and Pippin, it used it on their heads when they lit off the fireworks, and then, you know, they have smoky faces and their hair just goes all crazy because of that to represent that. I guess it wasn't in the budget to bring back that piece in that color, which is completely fine. Again, I don't mind the headband piece. I think it looks really good. It is a little bit overused. I do have to admit it is an extremely overused piece, but I don't mind it too much. Actually, come to think about it, I think Kai, Lloyd, and Nia haven't had their original hair pieces without the headbands included in a set in like, I don't know, 3 years or something. It's been a while. I haven't seen those pieces pop up for those characters in a while. I mean, I know the Nia piece has been used on Pixel, but I haven't seen Lloyd with his original hair. I definitely haven't seen Kai. I really want them to just have their normal hair sometimes. Look, I love the headband pieces, but they're a little bit overused, okay? If you haven't watched that video that Krusty made, he explains it way better than I do, okay? Use the headbands more sparingly, and sometimes just include the normal hair pieces. I don't really care. Got the ZX suits, that's cool. They come in other sets like the display. Got Pilot's Nia, so she is not actually going to be exclusive to the blacksmith shop, so that's nice. We have another way to get Pilot's Nia. And then we actually have the Loyalist and the Loyalist leader. Again, I am not going to spoil who the Loyalist leader is, but yeah, that's really cool that we're also getting some Dragons Rising Season 4 minifigures in this set. Apparently, there's like a little build in this set that's like a base for them, like an Imperium base. Apparently, that's canon to the show, that base, or at least, I mean, I don't know if it looks exactly the same, probably not, but apparently, yeah, that base will be in the show. They'll have some kind of base. And apparently the Old Town, at least in some capacity, is going to make it into Dragons Rising Season 4, so I'm curious to see how that happens, if it looks exactly the same or what changes they make. But yeah, I think it's awesome to have another way to get these minifigures. These are really cool characters. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens with that story and all that. And then we have Mistake. In the last video, we talked about Oni Mistake, but we also got the regular version. Again, I don't have too much to say about this. I think that torso print is reused. She's got a nice face print. She's got the Sensei Wu hat, teapot. Nice minifigure. Again, I wish we had the hair hat combo, but apparently Lego just cannot make a hair hat combo with any character that has a hair hat combo in the show, like Ronin, the Postman, or Mistake, anybody with a Sensei Wu rice field hat. They can't make any hair hat combos with that, and I'm like, dude, come on. Look, I know it would be very difficult, but come on. Do you know how revolutionary that would be if they could do that? I'm sorry. It's wishful thinking, but I really think someday we need to have that happen. At least for Ronin, dude. At least for Ronin. For how big of a character Ronin is, we need to have that eventually. Come on. Look, you don't have to make them all the time. You can make it for an anniversary thing, but come on. I don't know. Hopefully, like, maybe in a future CMF, I don't know, something. Let's get a hair hat combo piece for Ronin. That would just be awesome. Come on. I mean, yeah, for the Postman and Mistake too, but dude, we need that for Ronin. That look was so iconic. But yeah, the minifigure looks good overall. And then we also have the Postman. Again, no hair hat combo, which is sad. Just the hat, which looks fine. The last minifigure that came in the Temple of Air Jitsu had his hairpiece, so that's cool that got a different version using the hat. Again, I really wish they could mix the two, because then that would be perfect. But yeah, the Postman, let's go. We got the return of the Postman, the guy who literally knows he's in a TV show when he literally says, "See you next season," in season 8. That was the funniest thing ever. The torso print looks really great. I love the face. That face print is awesome, because then you can make a really accurate Warden Noble minifigure. I think the torso exists and all the other pieces exist to make that, so you can make the Cryptarian Warden Noble minifigure. That's awesome. Yep, love the Postman. And then next, we actually have Dr. Saunders, and this will connect to the next minifigures that we're going to talk about, but we have Dr. Saunders. Crux's disguise is alter ego as Dr. Saunders in Day of the Departed and Hands of Time. That's really cool. I mean, I don't think we needed expected this minifigure, but it is a pleasant surprise. It looks really good. Honestly, I feel like they gave some of the most amount of details to any of the characters that came in the set to this minifigure, which is interesting. I'm not complaining. That minifigure looks really good. The dark red coat. We got like the watch in the pocket. We got that nice face print. Unfortunately, we don't have like a mustache piece like Flintlock. I mean, obviously it's a different mustache. We unfortunately don't have like a 3D mustache that goes over the neck. We don't have like a neck mustache piece for him, unfortunately, which is a little bit sad. But again, I realized like the budget for 2026 Ninjago was really tight and they crammed a lot of things in. And there were certain things they just did not have the budget for. So I completely understand that and I'm completely fine with it. This minifigure looks awesome. Again, it's just really awesome to get these characters, these really niche characters that we would never get otherwise. And that brings us into the Time Twins. Holy crap. I mean, I never would have guessed that we would get a young Crux and Acronix. This isn't even a remake of the Hands of Time version. No, these are the Crux and Acronix in the flashback from the Serpentine War. What's interesting is Crux already got a young version in the Bricktober pack. So we actually have 3 versions of Crux now. That is definitely interesting. But yeah, but now we also have young Acronix. We have young Crux and Acronix, and that's awesome. They fit in very nicely with all the other Elemental Master minifigures and 15th anniversary figures that are coming out this year to represent like the Serpentine War and all that. That is really cool. Again, I never thought we would, so we officially have Legacy Hands of Time stuff. We have Hands of Time being represented in Legacy, and again, of all the characters that they could do. I never thought the Time Twins would get this, but that's really cool. And to come to think of it, ever since Hands of Time has come out, we have gotten something celebrating Hands of Time for each anniversary after that season released. In 2021, we got the Golden Hour short where Wu is fighting the Time Twins and we learn the aftermath of what happens at the end of the last episode of season 7, how Wu becomes a baby and falls out of the temporal vortex and the Time Twins get lost in time. And now we have them in a Lego set. So who's to say for the 20th anniversary something even crazier isn't gonna happen? No, who's to say? I mean, heck, maybe they could return. We never know. I mean, they could return at any point. They could bring back the Time Twins, and that would be awesome to finish their story. I love the Time Twins as characters. I think they're phenomenal characters. Their season wasn't the strongest. Hands of Time was a little rough, but Crux and Acronix are great characters, and I would love to see them return. And also a funny thing I want to mention, I know this is kind of random, but I think Acronix with like his mask and his face print and also like his hairpiece, he kind of reminds me of Macaque from Monkey Kid for some reason. I don't know why, but just his look, he kind of looks like Macaque from Monkey Kid, which I find that kind of funny that he looks similar. Maybe he inspired the design of Macaque because Hands of Time released before the Monkey Kid theme and TV show started, so that's kind of funny. But yeah, let's go. Time Twins. What an unexpected and very welcome surprise. And then we actually have Harumi. And this is actually a very interesting version of Harumi. We have the Kabuki mask version of Harumi from Crystallized. That is a very nice inclusion, I must say, because I don't know, dude, that design with the Kabuki mask, I think that was one of the coolest designs we got. And just having that now, just having that face print, again, them just making more Harumi minifigures. We got casual Harumis in the workshops last year, and now we're getting Kabuki Harumi. So we almost have every Harumi that appears in the show. I think the only one we don't have is young Harumi from the flashback with the Great Devourer. I mean, who's to say we're not gonna get that? Because again, with the figures we're gonna take a look back next, those are young minifigures, and I think we could get even younger versions of those minifigures minifigures. But it's really cool to get that Harumi. She also comes with her normal face and her hairpiece. Looks really good. Again, it's that black outfit she has in crystallized. It's a little bit different than the Oni trilogy version. The printing's a little bit different. I'm pretty sure the Oni trilogy version had some dark blue on it. Again, it's a slightly different design, but I really like it. I really love that it has like the kabuki mask. That's really cool. Honestly, I think that's much more intimidating than Rox, who is supposedly the elemental master of fear. That kabuki mask was way more intimidating and way more scary and way more threatening than Rox will ever be. But dude, does she even use her elemental power? Okay, that's for another video. But yes, another awesome minifigure. And then going on, we also have Wu, same one from the blacksmith shop. Not too much to say. Looks good. Remake of the 2011 figure. But then we actually have Pilot's Garmadon remade. I think that torso might already exist. That might have been one of the original Legacy Garmadons. It's the same torso for Oni Mistake, which is completely fine. But what's awesome is that face print. That face print is awesome. And what's interesting is that face print is actually more attuned to Emperor Garmadon from the Oni trilogy, more so than Lord Garmadon from the OG era. That is so cool. That face print, it has an alternate face too. It's got a smiling face and a frowning face. Dude, that is awesome that we just have more face prints for Garmadon in the Emperor form. And there's just so many cool things you can do with that. So many minifigures you can upgrade with that face print. That's awesome. It's so good to get a representation of Garmadon like that. And yeah, it's just another awesome minifigure. And then we have, okay, the long-awaited figure, the figure that everybody's been talking about for like forever, like over what, 12 years? I can't even count. We have Dr. Julian, Zane's father, as a minifigure. That's insane, bro. I can't believe we actually finally have Dr. Julian as a real minifigure. It looks so good. I love the face expression. That's so in character for him. Torso print's good. Okay, the one bummer about this minifigure. Why didn't it have the leg printing? Oh my gosh, it needed that. Come on. I would have rather they had Dr. Saunders with no leg printing and given it to Dr. Julian than the other way around, because I feel like Dr. Julian is a much more iconic character than Dr. Saunders. Dr. Saunders isn't even a character. It's just an alter ego of Crux. Bro, Dr. Julian totally deserved that leg print. But there is a saving grace, because there's this scientist minifigure from the Simpsons CMF. Okay, so while I was editing this, I actually found that there's an even better leg print with the Steve scientist minifigure from the Ninjago movie that looks way better. That's actually full dual molded legs. So I think I'll use those instead. Go on eBay, go order that minifigure, steal those legs, then nab the Old Town set and then swap out the legs. That is exactly what I'm gonna do. Do it quick, because I think a lot of people are gonna do it after this, especially after I give the idea if people don't already know. Yeah, go nab some of those legs, swap it on the Dr. Julian minifigure, and then it's perfection. And then he's holding the falcon. Unfortunately, it's just a parrot. It's just a black parrot. That is really disappointing, man. Because we actually did get a falcon back in the day in the Zane's Ninja Copter set, and that actually looked really good. I mean, it had the falcon like in flight mode, but that was a really good piece. And this is such a downgrade. Holy crap. That's not a falcon. It's a parrot. It's a black parrot. Look, I get it. They have a budget, but dude, they could have used a better bird piece. Okay? They could have used a better bird piece, but you know what? I'm okay with it, because you know what? Go on eBay and get the original falcon piece and it's way better, and you know, all good. But amazing. Dr. Julian, that's so awesome. The amount we're getting for Ninjago 2026 is crazy. And then these last figures, we have the 15th anniversary figures. This is crazy. Young Wu, Young Garmadon, and the first Spinjitzu Master. Wow! There's a lot to go over. Okay, so we have Young Wu and Young Garmadon from their Serpentine War appearances. That's amazing. That is amazing. I cannot believe we're actually getting these versions of them. The Wu minifigure, I'm pretty sure the robes he has on are similar to like the 2012 robes that he wears in that one mini movie, the black robes he has. I'm pretty sure it's a similar design, but no, still, I'm so glad to get this minifigure. Hey, we got a nice face print, and again, that tan looks really good going down the lettering. It looks like it was ripped straight from the show. I'm so happy with that. And then same, young Garmadon, even better in my opinion. That's crazy that we're getting that young Garmadon design that's been featured in so many flashbacks. The Garmadon comic, the soon coming out Strike of the Serpentine comic. That is so cool. The purple robes, the red lettering. There's just so much history and lore with Garmadon and the time when he wore this suit. That's so cool, man. He's even got an alternate face expression with the red eyes. That's so cool, man. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Now, Lego, you gotta make the teen versions of Wu and Garmadon from Spinjitzu Brothers, and you have to make the child versions of Wu and Garmadon from when Garmadon got bitten by the Great Devourer. Give us those next. Please do. I mean, I have no doubt that those will eventually exist. They absolutely will. But I am so glad that we're continuing to get new versions of them. Let's go. I think these are some of the best Wu and Garmadon minifigures ever made. But now, the first Spinjitzu Master. Absolutely insane. I cannot believe we have the first Spinjitzu Master as an actual minifigure. I never thought we would get him. I always thought that we would just have to make customs with the Wu minifigures, take off the beard and call it a day, with the season 11 minifigures and put it on his various robes and stuff to make customs of him. But no, we have an official first Spinjitzu Master. Now, the torso and leg printing isn't canon to the show, at least as of the time of recording this video, but I have no problem with that because, first of all, the canon outfits do exist and you can just put the headpiece on those. Moreover, it just looks good. I mean, it's got like the two dragons on both sides. It's just a very uniform look. He really does look like someone with the power of creation in the dragon. Obviously, he also has the Oni, but he very much looks like the creator of Ninjago with like creation, golden power connected to the dragons. The creator of Spinjitzu, he just looks like that. It's just awesome. We finally have his face print. We finally have a face print for the first Spinjitzu Master. And if you compare it to that split second we saw in the episode TikTok in season 1 with the flashback of Garmadon getting bitten by the Great Devourer, where we see like the corner of his eye and like a goatee. It's that design. Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. That is absolutely his design. I've been saying that forever. That is the first Spinjitzu Master's design. And now we have that confirmed. We have his face. Let's go. I'm so happy about that face print. I think the face print is the best part of the minifigure. That goatee. It's just such a cool minifigure. He just looks like this awesome dude. Again, work with the Source Dragons. They created so many realms, fought many wars, taught people in the ways of martial arts, Spinjitzu, elemental powers, and just done so much for that whole universe. The god of Ninjago, essentially. I guess along with like the Source Dragons, maybe more of a demigod, but still, the first Spinjitzu Master. Let's go. That is absolutely amazing. This set is absolutely stacked with minifigures. And what's really cool is this set actually has representation for all 5 eras of Ninjago. Now let me break that down. So representing the pilots to season 2, we have Nia from the pilots, the ZX suits for the ninja, and Dr. Julian, plus pilots Wu and Garmadon. That's awesome. So there's that era. And then for the revival era, which is season 3 to season 7, we have the Time Twins, which is awesome. And then, oh yeah, a minifigure I forgot to mention. I completely forgot to mention Faith. We got a Faith minifigure from Hunted. Faith. I am so happy about that. Faith is probably my second favorite female character in Ninjago, right after Sora. And I'm so happy about that. I think it was a massive missed opportunity not to get Faith in the original season 9 sets. So the fact that Lego has gone back and given us this minifigure is just absolutely awesome. The torso and legs look very similar to the Heavy Metal minifigure, but it's like the face print and the hair that I'm so happy we finally have. Again, she was just really cool, and she's actually a really important character in season 9 and 10, especially with Wu, the dragon, and the Oni invasion and all of that, and the Iron Baron's rule, all of that. Faith is just such an awesome character. That's so cool that we finally have Faith, and awesome that we finally have representation for the Oni trilogy. For the Wild Brain era of Ninjago, we have Kabuki Mask Harumi, so Harumi can represent both the Oni trilogy and the Wild Brain era, which is awesome. And then for Dragon's Rising, we have the Administration Agent and the Loyalists. Okay, a few minifigures I forgot to mention were the Mailman representing the OG era, Chuck from Day of the Departed being one of Yang's students, and Dr. Saunders representing the Revival era, and Mistake representing the Oni trilogy, and also Young Wu, Young Garmadon, and the first Spinjitzu Master who predate the pilot. So this is really a celebration of like all of Ninjago. This set is celebrating the entire legacy of Spinjitzu, and that makes me just incredibly happy to see that that's happening with this set. Again, it's got so many, I mean, the amount of minifigures they were able to cram into this set that look really good. The only real downside is that Dr. Julian doesn't have the leg printing, which is fine because we can replace it. But dude, the fact that they were able to do that, and the fact that they were able to do that much detail on all these characters is just fantastic. And it makes me really, really happy. These are just great banger minifigures overall. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm rambling about how awesome this set is, but I can't get enough of it, dude. I mean, we got Dr. Julian, let's go. We got Faith. We got the Time Twins, crazy. We got Young Wu and Garmadon and the first Spinjitzu Master. Who would have ever thought we would get the first Spinjitzu Master as a physical minifigure? That's crazy. I can't get enough of this set, and it just has so many stickers, so many details, such a cool build. This is absolutely worth the $300, not just for price per piece, with again like almost 5,000 pieces for $300 is crazy. That is crazy value. I mean, they could technically charge more for this, so that's crazy. That is $300, and the amount of characters, the amount that's in this set for the price it is. Again, it's still not a cheap set, but dude, I think that is a really good price for what this is. That's crazy value, man. Nothing was wasted. In my opinion, this is a 10 out of 10 easily, and one of the greatest Ninjago sets ever made, and I cannot wait to get this. But yeah, that is my thoughts on this absolutely banger set. Again, we just have so much Ninjago news coming out lately. But what do you guys think of this set? Are you guys gonna buy this set like I am? Oh, I'm so hyped, dude. I'm so hyped to get it. But yeah, that's it for the video. Hope you guys like and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Adios.